Part 2. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad and the connection's not going to be too terrible. Let's see what we can get going here. If you're thinking to yourself, wow, that looks like Sharks Cove, you are 100% right. And these are some jagged rocks. You do not want to fall. And what's precarious about this is that they are loose. Some are loose and some are not. But we shall see. We'll see if we could see some octopus or some cool fish. How's the audio now? Should be really good. Or just not horrible. Anyway. There's some of those Sergeant Majors. There's an angelfish. The Sergeant Majors look really cool in this clear water. So this is Sharks Cove. Now, just to give you kind of, some of you, maybe Dale, who has lived here, let me know your feelings on this. I personally think this is at least a good option for alternative, I should say, a good alternative to Hanauma Bay. Not to be a replacement. Hanauma Bay just is beautiful just because it's protected. They have more, a wider variety of sea life there, in my opinion. But this is a great alternative for free. When I came here a lot, I always had in my rental car, I always had snorkel kit in the back. And I would always go up and down these beaches here and just get out and snorkel. You know, you'd snorkel 15, 20 minutes, put your equipment back and be back on your way and just go to the next beach. And sometimes you'd hit a good beach, sometimes you'd hit a bad beach. And that's frankly how I discovered Sharks Cove. So guys, if I take a tumble here, this is, these rocks are not slick, but they are loose. Some are stuck really hard, some are very loose. So let me try and go back this way. Ooh, that was almost, at least it'll be live. At least you'll see it. And I have fallen on these rocks before, and it is no picnic. So I'm not watching your comments right now. All right, so let me let you take a look around. This is Sharks Cove, North Shore-ish. And this is very low tide. It's usually much higher tide than this. Actually, where I'm standing is almost always underwater. And just so you know, I went to Laniakea Beach and there were no turtles. I mean, there was one turtle out and people were just taking photos of it, and it wasn't worth it since we just saw some turtles there in North Shore. God dang, boy, that was close. I need to stop looking at the comments. So I'm going to ignore your comments for a few moments, guys, and just focus on walking on these rocks here. And man, when you take a tumble on these rocks, you pay for it. I mean, they are jagged. Look at that. If you watch down these waters, you'll see some really, really cool fish. I've seen octopus in here, a bunch of blowfish, like baby blowfish, about the size of ping pong balls or tennis balls. But let's hopefully we don't get blanked right here, but let's just take a look. Look at how beautiful that is. And again, this is very low tide. I mean, Dale, seriously, have you seen it this low before? And also just to give you kind of a some of your bearings, that's where Haleiwa is, right straight over there. That's that mountain range that we were right underneath today. Turtle Beach is right over here. Waimea Valley is right in through there. That's where I tried to go into. I tried to go in there and live stream, and there was no connection. And then when I tried to go into the actual botanical gardens where the waterfall was, there's some tangs right there. They're going to be difficult to see because the ridge is in the water. But there was literally no connection. So I went from Waimea Valley, where the waterfall was, walked out, went to Waimea Bay, where the rock is, where the people jump off the rock, and it was just crowded. But there was literally zero connection. no internet connection. So I came down here, and we're just going to do this stream. The plan is to walk from here, check that out, down to Sunset Beach. Wow, there's a good sized fish right there. That's about the size of the fish that we see right there in front of Barefoot Beach Cafe. See, that's a beautiful fish. It's one of those turquoise color. There's a, can't think of the name of that fish. It's not an angelfish. People just by default will call it an angelfish, but it's not. Yes, this is Sharks Cove. Well, you do now. You have to walk on these rocks to get out here to snorkel now, but I'm telling you, I've been here probably 20 times, and I've never seen it this low. I mean, you never see this many people. As I haven't. I mean, I haven't seen it this many people just out here floating around. I used to come in from right over there, and I mean, the water was right up to the top of those rocks, and you just laid off those rocks and you swam this whole area where I'm in. It was underwater, almost in every case. Well, look at that big school of fish right there. See them? But I like this. I like this as an alternative. Again, I'm not disparaging Hanauma Bay. That's still the king as far as I'm concerned. But it's very busy. There's a lot of, just a lot of people there. But here you can come and you see these little holes, these little inlets right here, like this one here. When the water is up, there's all types of fish down inside there. All types of fish. I was actually hoping to see more fish in here because they got trapped, but maybe they're up in holes or something like that. But you can enjoy yourself. You wouldn't snorkel here. This is too shallow, obviously. But just on the other side over here, because it's low tide, the water's going to be broke by the rocks a little bit on the other side. There's some fish here. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, we just didn't, there was just no connection at Waimea Valley and Waimea Waterfall, and they don't let you film in there either. She said, we can't allow you to film in here if you're filming it for promotion. I said, but it's promoting your place. I mean, we'll put a link in it. We'll talk about the ticket price and how beautiful it is here. And they said, no, can't do it. So even if I had connection out there, I wouldn't be allowed to shoot. I know this is a stretch and I don't want to walk over that far, but can you see these fish right here? You can see the flash of them just a little bit. They're silver, but they're about as big as my hand. There's about 20 of them going over there. I know that's really a stretch, but I figured maybe this filter would allow you to see that. But this filter does such a good job with the skies, with the water. That's all right, Tom. Go to Ross, buy some luggage, fill it up. You're good to go. No problems. No issue. God dang, man, that suck. These are, I'll just show you. I'm not going to show you as I'm walking, but these are so, what's the word I'm looking for? Deceptive. They look hard and they look like some are just loose. They're not set down, and when you step on them to push off, they go, not today. So let's get off these rocks. I don't mind the fall really, but I don't want to fall on camera, and I don't want to fall on my camera. So we're going to do something a little precarious, something I probably wouldn't recommend you do, but we're going to walk from here to, we'll go to Bonsai first. There will be a sunrise shack on the way, but there's another sunrise shack that's towards Ted's Bakery that I'd rather stop at, and let's give that a spin. But we're going to have to pull the audio the good mic and use the phone mic, gosh dang it, and pull the phone mic. Guys, I'm not clumsy. I know it may seem like I'm clumsy, but I'm really not. I'm not fleet of foot like some guys with cat-like reflexes, but man, those rocks are deceptive. You think they're ready to go and gonna hold you up, but nope. Yasin, hello. Well, you got to admit, I mean, seriously, if you do it on camera, if I'm going to fall, I want to fall on camera. I don't want to fall at all, but if I do, I want it to be live. How's the wind now? The wind is blowing like crazy right now. But I'm using my good mic, so it should be perfect. There's nothing good on the flat stuff, Steve-O. You have to venture off. Here's a little bit better view. I want to look at the name of that fish. Hopefully they have the fish's names on here. Opal, that's it. That's what was over there. This one. That one right there. That's one we've seen a number of times too. That's that snowflake moray eel. Maybe that was a moray eel over there by the Waikiki pier, because he looks like that, but he's like kind of like that yellowish right there, the yellow, but kind of leans more towards the orange. Everybody said it was a moray, but I thought, and so did the other part-time oceanographer, we both thought that it wasn't a moray. And just because when people see eels, unless it's a sea snake, they think by default it's always a moray eel. Which I understand that, but I didn't think that's really what it was. But it sure may have been. Looks like it now. I didn't know they were orange. I think Janet's a certified diver also. And that's not to imply that makes you anything more than someone who spent a lot of time in the water. But yeah, ridiculousness. Speaking of Janet, where is that sucker? Haven't seen her today. So there will be some stretches along here. I could drive down here, but the problem is, not the problem, but the issue is this. You drive down, you got to park, get out, walk, get out, walk, get out, walk. It's a little problematic, troublesome. I'd rather walk it, to be honest. This is more kind of what I'm used to here. Do you see how it's a little more, I mean, not a little more, it's a lot more full. Or the water's up, like the water's up usually, like you see here, but over there. I've never seen it that low. This is covered up with water. But you see how those people out there snorkeling and all, that's covered with fish out there. Yeah, it's very busy. Yeah, you have to find the parking and you get in and get out. So I'd rather just, let's walk along the highway here a little bit. we may have to forego the beautiful audio for just a little bit. But I thought this would also be interesting for you to see, see some of the residences over here on what's identified as North Shore as well. See some of the communities, housing, things of that nature. So hopefully it's interesting to you. So we'll walk along here for about a quarter of a mile, half a mile. We'll still see some nice houses. And then we'll be at Bonsai Pipeline area, and then that goes for a little bit, and then we'll get to Sunset Beach. They're not like right next to each other, they're down a little bit. I would like, boy, it'd be great if the waves were up, but they're just not. But I also want to show you that this is a walk that you could easily do. You can go to the Food Land, which is right over there. Make sure you go in there, give them some business. I bought a drink and a sandwich and just gave that sandwich away because I saw that guy was sitting out front. He took it. I wanted to give them some, let them know, and I just put my receipt on the dash. It just kind of lets them know to not tow your car and that you did do business with them. Oh man, doggone it. I forgot my water again. Man, what is it? I'm thinking, boy, I'm thirsty. I went to reach down. It's not in my pocket. That's like the third time in a row I've done that. How stupid. Okay, now I can see some of the comments. And then I'm going to, just because we're not on the freeway, or not on the highway, I'm going to swap out the audio, if you guys don't mind. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad. How's that? How's that audio? Shouldn't be too bad. It's just beautiful, some of these houses here. I'd forget them. Well, I know where it is on the top of my car, like the last time. It's no mystery where it is for me. The mystery is how I keep forgetting it. But I did get a bottle of kombucha, which was good. I drank that whole thing down. That's some of the best stuff made by man. You can live in one of these houses. You can rent them for about $5,000 to up. And then to buy them is, runs the range. There's some of these houses that were grandfathered in, which, you know that term, the grandfathered in. So there's families that didn't pay, retail prices for them, but they have to pay the taxes on them, so sometimes they lose them. It was raspberry lemon that I had. Very bitter. Yeah, that's why I like these the live streams better than produced videos, because I can see how I would have stopped and started, stopped, started, went back, shot something else, did a different angle, better take, more audio, and then I don't have your interaction. As a matter of fact, I did do that. I shot a video from today from Waimea Falls, back through Waimea entrance, through the Botanical Gardens entrance, back over to Waimea Beach, and it was so awkward. I walked all the way across the beach to Waimea, the rock where people jump off, and it was so awkward me speaking. I spoke just like I would like on a live stream, and I could just tell it was very awkward and clunky and not at all what I wanted it to be. And it wouldn't have sounded great. Did not sound authentic. Here's some vacation rentals if you're interested in renting a place. There are a couple of super nice houses up here by Bonsai, and they're called they're called the professional surfers homes, and it's homes where, as you can imagine, professional surfers during the winter months stay, and other months too, but the winter months is when they're most popular, and they stay there because they wait for the waves to kick up. And those houses are super nice, very, very nice, as these are. You can tell the beach is like right through there. So yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, if I were doing a produced video right now, I would not be walking this street. I would just go to Bonsai, shoot a couple of pan shots, tilt shots, some stills, some interesting angles, and be done with it. But at least here I can walk, talk, we can look at the scenery. When there's a store of any note on that side, we can go over. If there's any food truck, we can certainly go look at it. Nice houses, and we could interact with one another. And those are all I'd love to do that. I want to do that. I just, you know, I think even when we do these interviews, if the visitor is up for it, we could just start and do a walk. I mean, we don't need to do some silly walk like I do. We can go to just walk around Hilton Hawaiian Village a little bit and just walk to a place and stop and sit and talk a little bit. We don't have to do a 5-miler, you know. But I agree with you. I think that would be fun. Yeah, it's up here, Glenn. The pizza van. It's ran by a man and his 2 sons. Is that the one you're talking about? It's right at the entrance. There's an entrance. There's that truck is right there, and it's kind of a long parking area. Not a long parking area, but it's the only parking area for Pipeline or Sunset, one of the two. Yeah, look, I mean, this isn't, you know, isn't that beautiful? I think it's wonderful, that the yard they have back there and the access. Some of the houses, and we're going to look at some of these houses on one of our streams, closer down by there by Waimanalo Beach, about a little of this side. There's several houses that are just, it's like a big lawn, perfectly natural lawn. It's not manicured, a perfectly natural lawn, and then a house. And those houses are so dilapidated, but people live in them still. You can see through them. And I don't mean see through them because they put a window here and a window there. I mean, you can see through them because there's a hole in the wall, and you can see all the way through to the beach. I better stand to one side. Some of these kids, I can hear them behind me on their bikes. They're going to come screaming through there and take out old Tony or do damage to their bike. There you go. Oh, and it smells too. The smells that you get here are just, I don't know. I just, it varies. It doesn't fall deaf on me. The senses. I mean, I don't know. I'm a big sight, kind of tactile person, and scent. You know. I guess everybody is when you put it that way, but you can really smell the fruit in the air around North Shore. Here you can smell just like the greenery. It's like what it smells like now is, you know, when you have a fresh rain or a freshly cut lawn, like that butch lawn they call it. Oh man, it's just like really thick greenery. That's what it smells like. And see, usually when the waves are bumping, you can see them through here, but they're just kind of white cappy. They're not sizable, really. I mean, they're compared to Waikiki, they're bigger, but you see, like right in here. We'll go down and we'll look at them as we get further down the line here a little bit. Hi. You know, there are a lot of places around America, I'm sure around the world, but I'm speaking more about America, or North America, yeah, America, where it just seems a little more wholesome. And I think that's one of the things that for me I really like about Hawaii. Sure, there are places, you know, just like any place where it's not as wholesome, but here it just seems wholesome because like, for example, I went to that food land, and I know this is not, I'm not trying to say this how everybody should be or whatever, but there's a kid that pulled up in an electric bike and another kid that pulled up in an electric bike. One kid obviously had money because that bike was like $4,000. The other kid had a bicycle with an electric motor on the bike. And what I mean he had a bicycle, I mean it was a bicycle that probably like Wade, Gerard, when we were kids, we built because we found pieces of it all over the junkyard. Those kids were together. Both kids looked like they just came off the beach. They had long hair, no shirts on, shorts, flip-flops, and they were riding these bikes. And I just started talking to them, and man, they were just, hey, yeah, yes, but they were like, yes sir, no sir, that type of thing. And I'm not talking about them being polite, but they just looked wholesome. You know, they're out jumping around. They had little boogie boards on the back of their bikes, and they were just going to go to the beach, chill out. You know, they're going in to get some lunch at the food land, then go back down to the beach and, you know, boogie board some more. And you know, that may seem melancholy, but it just, I don't know, it just seems kind of wholesome up here. I like that. And you see, you get that feeling at the North Shore down in Haleiwa. All the kids around there, you know, they weren't, you know, on their phones. They weren't graffitiing everywhere. They weren't cursing out their parents. They were there to paddle, you know. And I know there's certain segments of all societies that have kids like that, but it just seems a little more prevalent or a little bit more noticeable here. I do want to show you this. This is not going to be too remarkable, but just to show you these little inlets that they have here. Impromptu, right? There's some of the, I know I lost your connection a minute, but there's the waves. We're going to go look at Bontai Pipeline. But see, these waves here, they break like right at the beach, right at the beach. I'm going to lose you again just for a second.